Mic check. I'll mess up my camera feed. That's a lot better. Lot better, I think. Let's see. Mic check. Yeah, a lot better. I don't really know what I kind of had a plan a little while ago, and the iMac started acting funny again. So I think I'm probably on the verge of having to get another iMac, because I don't know, just like it's got a new hard drive in it. It's got a new screen. I don't know. It's got to be something with the processor. Find me like one of those refurbished ones. Some iMacs are expensive. I can get me a 21 inch though. I mean, I have a 27 right now, and love it. Like, it's versatile. I mean, it's big enough where you can watch TV on it if you had to. Because I think when my wife and I think when we moved here or something, and I think the TV was broken or it was put up or something, and so we just hooked the iMac up, with Netflix, and it's big enough to where you're not straining your eyes to see what's going on the screen. All right, so let's see. Excuse me. Let's see what we can find here. I'm gonna go down to my history because I had some articles and stuff pulled up that I wanted to look at, and they all went away. All right, let's see. Well, let's just go off of this. So this is Leafly. I went over some of this the other day. Like we won't rehash, what's already been talked about. So, Leafly investigation lacks THC vape rules, still allow toxins into your lungs. Yeah, and that's like you gotta be careful with read this. You gotta be careful with those cards. I'm not a huge fan of getting them. Like off the black market. There's other ways. There's other things that you can do, like where you can vape. Like I could be wrong, but I don't think there's like really been an issue with like tainted like shatter concentrates. And it may have, I don't know. But maybe the vaping thing is just getting all the attention. I don't know. But you can make your own, like if you're able to, if you go to a legalized state and get a good deal on some shatter, right? You could go by like one of the vape stores. They usually have what they call wax liquidizer, and you just get that wax liquidizer. You just mix, say you're gonna make a gram cart, you just measure it out however you want to mix it. But like that wax liquidizer, it makes it to where it's vapable, and some of them will have like terpenes like put in them. Like I think I've seen some of it here in the vape stores where it had the terpenes for like sour diesel, blue dream, just different strands, and you could I don't really know how that would work because like the strand that you have is going to have terpenes already in it. I mean, maybe you could, if you had, say you had sour diesel and shatter and you wanted to mix it with that sour diesel wax liquidizer, then maybe you'd feel the terpene effects more because it would be like a supplementation, kind of like we talked about before with fruits and vegetables, cooking. When you if you're eating edible stuff or making, some people make like spaghetti sauce or fettuccine or any type of sauce, and and knowing which terpenes are in what spice or vegetable or whatever, be beneficial to know for supplementing your terpenes. So it says in 2019, 2020, vaping associated lung injuries killed 68 people and injured 2,807 across the United States, as far as reported by Leafly and later confirmed by officials at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. We know how trustworthy they are. Those injuries and deaths were almost exclusively associated with unlicensed THC vape cartridges purchased from the illicit market. All right. Let's go back and read that. As reported by Leafly and later confirmed by officials at the CDC. All right, listen. Those injuries and deaths were almost exclusively associated with unlicensed THC vape cartridges purchased from the illicit market. Well, what does that really mean? Like, were almost exclusively associated with unlicensed THC vape cartridges. What does associated mean, like, to these people? Like, I mean, I'm not saying that people weren't getting hurt by something that, is on the black market, because, no, I can totally see that. But, I don't know. I mean, it seems, you look at it at face value and like, oh yeah, like, it's got something to do with it. But I don't know, like, why would you not just say that, right? Instead of saying almost exclusively associated with unlicensed THC vape cartridges. I mean, there's something to be said for clarity in your statement, right? Let's see. At the heart of the health crisis was a relative new vape cartridge and additive known as vitamin E acetate. Unlicensed cartridge manufacturers were using the substance, a common ingredient in beard cream, to thicken cartridge oil and boost profit margins. After the poisonings, officials at the CDC said that the number one thing state cannabis regulators could do to protect public health was ensure that chemicals of concern like vitamin E acetate did not enter into the state licensed THC vape cartridge supply. As of early 2021, cannabis regulators have not done that. So, I wonder what this is about, right? After the poisonings, officials at the CDC said that the number one thing state cannabis regulators could do to protect public health was ensure that chemicals of concern. So I would imagine it would be, pesticides, things like that. Yeah, I just thought about that. I was like, a leafly investigation into current and forthcoming regulations around THC vape cartridges in the 15 legal cannabis states. How old is this? Or are they just talking about recreational? Okay, yeah, I'm sure they're just talking about recreational. Reveals that more than a year after the vape lung, also known as EVALI or VAPI crisis, a few states have banned vitamin E oil, but not a single state upgraded its THC vape cartridge testing requirements up to the standard currently required for all nicotine vape cartridges in Europe and Canada. State cannabis regulators have generally done a great job of protecting the health of consumers by requiring tests for toxins like pesticides, residual solvents, heavy metals, mold, and bacteria. Manufacturers are also required to test and disclose the exact potency of every product on the label. I know that, I guess those are unlicensed dispensaries. All right. But sometime around late 2018, THC vape cartridges, especially in the bounds of those safeguards. But sometime around late 2018, THC vape cartridges escaped the bounds of those safeguards. A new wave of novel cartridge oil additives, thickeners, thinners, dilutants, and artificial flavors began flooding the market. The new additives were almost limited to illicit market vape carts, but a few seeped into the legal regulated market as well. Those new additives included vitamin E, aka beard cream oil, squalene, a shark liver oil substance, thousands of food flavorings not approved for inhalation. I don't, certain vape additives are associated with lung injury, which shows up as cloudy on the left X-ray and clear of after treatment of one suspected VAPI patient in Utah. Yeah, be careful though about those with those cartridges though. I mean, plus like, you can spend $50 on something and they've either, bought carts and taken the oil out and, putting, like the vegetable stuff that you can vape, put it in there to stretch it out. Or, they'll buy like the oil in bulk and then, dilute it with like the vape stuff. I mean, because you have to put the vape stuff. You got to make it vapable, but like they'll really, instead of maybe having like a 0.5 of actual material and a 0.5 of the the vape stuff, or 0.7 and 0.3 or something like that, they'll move it all the way down to where it's only like 0.25 of product, and then the rest of it is like that vape stuff. And so you'll get it and smoke it and you get a little high, but it don't last, and you run through the pen like that, right? You get a good one like from like one of the dispensaries, and that it usually lasts me about 5 to 6 days, like one of those. And that would be like maybe once, just depending on what type of cart it was, maybe once or twice in the morning, and then maybe like once at lunch. Yeah, like no more than that. And then after work, I don't know, about 20 times. I don't know. I would just, just relax after work. And so I used it after work, like, a pretty good amount, just kind of sporadic throughout the day. But yeah, so about 5 to 6 days. And then I've bought one, from somebody one time, and like, I think it was gone like 2.5 days, and it sucked. It sucked. All right, let's see where we at. All right, so we'll go over one more. Just check out one more thing, and I got some things I gotta do, and I gotta get ready for work to my second job. Woke up at 4 a.m. this morning. I've been super excited that I've been able to do that. Yeah, because I was able to do it for a while, and then something happened, and I started Guitar Center, and so my schedule kind of changed a little bit, and so it got to be kind of hard to, work there and then still be able to get up at 4 and start my day early. And so I've been able to do that here recently, and like, for one, like I feel like I get so much done. Like I get up at 4, start work about 4:30 or 5, and then I'll leave that work, just depending upon what time I got to be at Guitar Center. My normal days is like at 1, so I'll leave that job like 10:30 or 11, and then come home and maybe live stream for a second and take a shower and then go work at Guitar Center. But I've gotten good on the days that that I'm not at Guitar Center, that I'll wake up at 4, start my day then, and then I don't even have to stop until at least I meet my daily goal. And once I hit that daily goal, then it's just kind of whatever I want to do, right? So, because as long as I have that daily goal at the end of the week, the money's there. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Okay, that's 101. How to dab cannabis concentrates. Now, I know a lot of you know already. Some of you think you know, and some of you don't know. So let's just see what they got to say about this. Learning how to smoke dabs may seem daunting at first, but it'll come easily once you read about it. To help to ensure your first time goes smoothly, this resource will teach you how to take a dab. All right, so essentially, dabbing is the flash vaporization of cannabis concentrates. Once they are applied to a hot surface and inhaled, these concentrates, you've maybe heard of shatter, wax, BHO, oil, etc., are a lot more potent than flower, so a little bit goes a long way. All right, so it says while bud tends to test between 15 to 25% THC, concentrates typically range between 50 to 80% THC, depending upon the extract type and quality. And you can even dab non-intoxicating CBD, which I highly recommend. The wax, the shatter that I've had, I didn't like it. I don't know if it was the manufacturer or what, or if it's just the way CBD shatter tastes. But the wax, it's real soft, but it's really fruity. I had some like lemon. It was lemon something I bought from Gallery Smoke, and when I put that in my little vape pen, like you could taste like the lemon, like in the terpenes and stuff. Like it was really good, and it's like I mean, you don't get high. It's just it's a calming, it's like a strong calming feeling. You know, doesn't last super long as far as like, you know, the noticeable feeling of it. The benefits, I mean, they last a lot longer, but just that extreme calming feeling, you know, I don't know, 30 minutes, you know, something like that. I think that's might be a stretch, but up to about 30 minutes. But yeah, try it out though. If you can't find it in your local store, there's tons of websites that you can order it from. So you can just look on there for, you know, you can buy gram, little things of wax or shatter CBD, or 0.5. I think they got them as small as like 0.25. You know, if you wanted to get like 4 different flavors and try it out, you know, get like a total gram, but 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. And then you kind of know what you need to order next time. Let's see. Dabbing isn't for everybody, especially if you're new to cannabis entirely. That is true. If you're not a big smoker, like, you know, I would start with a good vape cart from a reputable source. Probably wouldn't do dabs, because dabs it can be intense, like when it's good quality. But that's why they call them dabs, because it's like little dab-a-dee. All right. What dab tools are needed? You need a dab rig, a nail. Dab rig. This water pipe is like a bong, except it will have a fitting for a nail. Nail. This is like the bowl for your bong where you will put the concentrate. The standard today is a quartz banger, which has a bucket shape. Ceramic and titanium are other options, and e-nails are becoming more common. Be sure to get the correct joint size where the nail slides into the dab rig. If your rig has a 14 millimeter stem, you need a 14 millimeter nail. Nails can be male and female as well. You need a male nail for a female rig and vice versa. So I'm gonna look that up for you and show you a picture of it in case you've never seen like a dab rig. Let's see. I think my suspension from being able to live stream on Facebook is almost up. I don't know why they did it. I don't really care. Hell with them. Alright, let's see. So, it's like this one, right? So this is your nail or whatever, right? Is that what it? Yeah. Banger is really, yeah, it's when you go into a store and you ask for this, you're really gonna ask, hey, I need a banger. And then right here, this is the size. Like it'll be, like a real wide one will be like 18 millimeter. Like one a little smaller will be like 14. I think it goes to 10 or something. And then you'll fill it up somewhere. It's just kind of really up to you. Some people will fill it up to about right there and leave like a little bit of opening, but really you'd want to fill it up to like right above this. And so that way like the smoke comes through the water and like this will be like percolating like, right? And so trying to cool off the smoke a little bit. And so like I've always went by the rule of thumb that like you get the torch and you light that, like you get your whatever your CBD wax, right? Your CBD wax, and you get a torch and you light that up for like 30 seconds and let it rest for about 10, and then put it in there and then like swish it around with your little dabber tool and pull, and it should be like right there about where it needs to be. It's all, and that's like as long as like the thing is like room temperature, and it hadn't been like some people put theirs in the freezer or things like that. It's room temperature. Yeah, that CBD wax, or like I said, I don't know about the shatter. It didn't taste too good, but that wax, it was really cool. I'm a big CBD fan though too. Like it's like the oil. I get the oil in like high enough dose. Like what they told us in the training is you have to get a dose high enough to activate the CB1 receptors in your brain. Yeah, CB1, right? I think it is. Which receptors does let's see what it's got to say. I didn't know they had words. Okay, yeah, so it's both CB1 and CB2. It's what I kind of thought, but I didn't want to. I was trying not to misspeak. But that's what a DuckDuckGo search is, right? Fact check yourself. How CBD interacts with CB1 and CB2 receptors. Cannabis CBD interacts with. Hold on, let me turn that down. Interacts with two dominant receptors, CB1 and CB2 of the endocannabinoid system, ECS. How it does so has been widely debated in the literature. The truths about CBD's interaction with CB1 and CB2 is broken down in this article. Alright, CB1 receptors. These receptors are predominantly found in the central nervous system. CBD acts as an allosteric modulator of CB1 receptors. An allosteric modulator changes the way the receptor works without actually activating it. This means the CBD can cause inhibitory effects on CB1 agonists, substances that increase the receptor's activity, such as THC. Since CBD does not occupy the same position as THC on the receptor, it cannot displace THC. However, it can negate some of its effects. Like I told you before, like if you have a bad experience with a strand and while you're smoking and you have some CBD nearby, right? Or just keep some. Go get a CBD vape cart. And if you ever run into that problem, like you get paranoid or the munch or something, just hit that that CBD cart until it goes away, and it'll knock it out. However, it can negate some of its effects. These include improving memory loss associated with THC use and counteracting THC's psychoactive effects. So that's why, like, a lot of people like will actually they'll go to the store and buy CBD flower and mix, like do like a 50-50 or 75-25 type deal, and mix it in, and it'll, like, especially let's just say you got this strand and it's got this terpene or it's got this effect that's making you paranoid, right? Well, that CBD, it will dull it, but you'll still be able to smoke that specific strand. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you know, hey, I wanna smoke orange cookies, right? And you know the limonene in there is gonna like wig you out, then you just mix some CBD in there, and you still have, you know, some of those benefits of orange cookies, but just not as intense, right? So you can actually manage that and being able to actually enjoy, you know, the other effects about it that you enjoy, right? So let's see. CB2 receptors. Early on, it was believed that CBD binds directly to CBD2 receptors. Crazy enough, it was also that there were no CB2 receptors in the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord. 5. What we know now is that these are myths. While it is true that there are CB2 receptors in the brain, most, you know what? Let me find me another source. Hold on a second. I didn't check out where that came from. Let's see. CBD. I apologize for that. I should have never started with that bullshit. I mean, I'm not saying it's bullshit, but I want to do some fact checking on that website. CB1. And maybe if I like somebody in the medical field that deals with this, that watches this, will email me and let me know. Let's see. Let's see. All right. CB1 and CB2 receptors' role in moderating impulsivity. Broadly speaking, the endocannabinoid system comprises two receptors, CB1 and CB2, two endogenous compounds that activate these receptors, endocannabinoids, in whatever, AEA and 2AG, and two metabolic enzymes, fatty acid amide hydrolase and monoacylglycerol lipase. Yeah, I think I got most of that right, though. That control the synthesis and breakdown of these endocannabinoids. Over the past decade, research in rats and mice, along with supportive evidence in cannabis users, has shown that CB1 and CB1 and CB receptors located in the prefrontal cortex or the ventral tegmental area play key roles in regulating impulse behaviors. Okay. Where does this study come from, though? Right. All right. As noted by Whisk and whatever. Let me click on that. Let me see if I can't go to that site. Oh, shit. I'm going to get off. What, blah, blah. Anyway, I got to get ready for work, though, so I kind of went over, got long-winded. I apologize. Hey, I appreciate you stopping through. I just kind of really wanted to test out this cloud lift with with the mic, because I know that some of my vocals came in like low on the last one, but they seemed fine in the system. But then like after the fact, I was like, damn. So hopefully this audio came through like it's supposed to, and it's working right. So, but anyway, make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that shit. So